Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something, well, fundamental. Water.
Absolutely essential. For life, for health.
Exactly. But its impact,
Yeah.
it's surprisingly complex. We're doing a deep dive today into a big systematic review. It's called On-Plot Drinking Water Supplies and Health.
Sounds specific.
It is. And the sources are really impressive. This isn't just one study.
No, it's a review, right. Pulling together lots of research.
Dozens of individual studies, yeah. So we get this broad but also really detailed picture. How having water right where you live, how that shapes health.
Okay, so our mission for you listening is to really unpack what on-plot means. It's specific.
Right.
And explore how having water right there impacts health, sometimes in, well, subtle ways.
And sometimes surprising ways.
Definitely surprising. We want to reveal the factors that really make a difference. It goes beyond just, having the water. It's about the hidden levers.
Yeah, I think you're going to hear some findings that might challenge some assumptions. What really drives health improvements? Sometimes it's a bit counterintuitive.
Get ready for some aha moments, maybe.
Hopefully. Okay, so let's kick off with that definition.
Yeah.
What is on-plot water access?
Simply put, it's a water source inside the boundary of your home property.
Like a tap in the house or in the yard.
Exactly. Or within your compound. The key is it's on your plot.
Contrasting with off-plot.
Which means you have to go somewhere else to get it. A community tap, maybe a river, away from home.
Got it. Now, to understand the health impacts, you mentioned a framework.
Yes, the Bradley classification. It's really helpful, outlined in our sources. It sorts water-related diseases by how they spread.
Okay.
First up, waterborne. These are the ones you get from drinking contaminated water. Think giardiasis, cholera, typhoid, things like that.
The ones we often think of first with unsafe water.
Pretty much. Then second, you have water-washed diseases.
Water washed. How does that work?
These spread person to person, or they thrive when there isn't enough water for good hygiene.
So lack of washing.
Exactly. Things like some types of diarrhea, trachoma, the eye infection, scabies, skin infections, even some respiratory infections.
And the key there is water quantity, right? Not just quality.
Precisely. More water available means better hygiene, which reduces these.
Okay, well.
Third category, water-based. These need an intermediate host that lives in the water. Schistosomiasis is the classic example.
Like snails in the water.
That kind of thing, yes. And finally, water-related insect vectors. Diseases spread by insects that breed in or near water.
Malaria, dengue, mosquitoes.
You got it.
So understanding these categories is crucial because
it shows on-plot water helps in multiple ways, not just cleaner drinking water.
Right. It's also about having enough water easily accessible for walking, for hygiene. It changes behavior.
It really does. It enables better practices.
Okay, so let's get into the data. What did this big review find? Where's the strongest evidence?
Well, the clearest, most consistent finding, hands down, is about diarrheal diseases.
That makes sense.
On-plot water supplies are significantly linked to reduced diarrhea. Study after study showed this. 13 studies reported significant benefits.
Can you give us an example, something concrete?
Sure. A study in Burkina Faso, for instance. Households with on-plot water access. They had much lower odds of diarrhea. The odds ratio was 0.57.
Okay, unpack that odds ratio for us. 0.57 means.
It means the odds of having diarrhea were almost cut in half, essentially, compared to those without on-plot water. Anything below 1 means lower odds.
Wow, that's a big drop.
It is. And another critical factor that emerged, continuous supply.
So the tap needs to work reliably.
Exactly. Consistent, uninterrupted water flow was also clearly linked to lower diarrhea rates if it only works an hour a day.
You're back to storing water and potential recontamination.
Precisely.
That actually came up in one study, didn't it, in Papua New Guinea?
Yes, that was a fascinating nuance. They had on-plot water, but the service was unreliable. And that less reliable service was associated with higher diarrhea rates.
So reliability, consistency is just as important as the pipe itself.
Absolutely key.
Okay, so diarrhea is the big one. What about those water-wash diseases you mentioned? Trachoma, skin infections, things linked to hygiene quantity.
Right, because on-plot access generally means more water used for hygiene. And the data supports this for trachoma.
The eye infection.
Yes. There was a significant health benefit seen in Mali, an odds ratio of 0.73.
So roughly a 27% reduction in odds. Still pretty good.
Definitely positive news. And for scare infections, generally, the review found reductions too, often around 20% to 30% with better water access.
Likely due to more washing.
That's the strong hypothesis. But respiratory infections were more mixed.
Why do you think that is? If hand washing improves, shouldn't that help?
You'd think so, and some studies with piped water did show a reduction, but others didn't find a significant link. Respiratory infections just have so many other ways to spread.
Airborne, close contact.
Exactly, so improved water helps, but it's not a silver bullet for everything, especially respiratory illnesses.
Okay, that makes sense. What about other things? Parasitic worms.
Helminths.
Ah, yes, helminths. The review looked at those too. 3 studies found statistically significant benefits linked to on-plot water.
Like what?
Well, one example from Malaysia looked at Ascaris infection, a type of roundworm.
Yeah.
Households getting water off-plot had significantly higher odds of infection compared to those with on-plot access. The odds ratio was 2.9.
Whoa, wait. 2.9, that's nearly 3 times the odds for the off-plot group.
Exactly. A really strong indicator that on-plot access was protective against that specific worm.
But you said findings were mixed overall?
For hookworm, yes, the results were conflicting across different studies. So it suggests on-plot water helps, but maybe the type of worm, local conditions, they matter a lot too.
Right. Okay, now, let's talk about where the evidence gets a bit murky or even surprising. We want to be transparent with you, the listener.
Child growth, height, weight. You'd intuitively think better water access, better growth.
You absolutely would. It feels like a direct line.
But the review found what?
No strong evidence of a direct impact.
Really?
None.
Not consistently. Some studies hinted children using off-plot supplies were maybe shorter, but others found no significant link at all.
That's really counterintuitive. Why might that be?
Well, child growth is just so complex. Nutrition, overall sanitation, healthcare access. Water is just one piece, maybe not the dominant piece for growth specifically.
Okay. What else was surprising?
Hepatitis A.
Okay.
Again, the studies didn't find a significant overall health benefit from on-plot water for Hep A.
Which is odd because it can be waterborne.
It can be. But even more surprising, one study, this was in Egypt, actually suggested higher rates of Hep A among the on-plot users.
Higher rates? How is that even possible? It really makes you scratch your head. It forces you to think about maybe specific local contamination risks, or maybe how the water is handled even when it's on plot. Perhaps issues with the pipes themselves in that specific location.
So even if the source is nearby, contamination can still happen.
It absolutely can. Which brings us to a really important point.
Okay, let's unpack this more. The benefits aren't just about the water being there. It's how it's accessed, how it's managed.
Exactly. It's not just flick a switch, problem solved. The details matter hugely, like distance.
Even within the plot or just getting to the plot?
Well, the review looked at distance generally. Reduced distance to the source is directly linked to less diarrhea.
That makes intuitive sense. Less carrying time, less chance to contaminate it.
And maybe using more water overall because it's easier. The review even pinpointed some thresholds.
Oh yeah, like what?
Collection times under 5 minutes or distances less than about 112 meters. Those were associated with less diarrhea.
Wow, that precise.
Those were the numbers that came out consistently in the analysis. It suggests that convenience factor really kicks in below those levels.
And the flip side, long collection times.
If it took 30 minutes or more to collect water, that was linked to more diarrhea.
Probably using less water, more storage time, more contamination risk during transport.
All of the above, likely. And that links back to water quantity.
Right. You said on-plot usually leads to more water being used in the home.
Yes, significantly more. And that increased quantity is tied to reduced diarrhea, reinforcing that water-wash disease pathway. More water equals better hygiene.
And you also mentioned reliability earlier. That came up again.
Oh, absolutely. Continuous supply, it's crucial. Intermittent supply forces storage.
Which opens the door for problems.
Right. But here's maybe the biggest, finding from the review related to storage.
Okay, Emery.
Households using larger water storage containers.
Yeah. More storage. Sounds good.
They actually had significantly higher odds of diarrhea.
Higher odds. With larger containers. That seems completely backwards. Why?
Well, the thinking is maybe the water sits around longer, allowing pathogens to grow.
Or maybe those big containers are just harder to clean properly, less frequently cleaned.
Exactly. Those are the main hypotheses. It's a really counterintuitive finding that needs more digging.
Definitely. Anything else on management?
Yes. One more positive note. Using multiple water sources seemed beneficial.
Like combining piped water with rainwater harvesting.
For example, households doing that tended to have less diarrhea. It suggests diversity in water sources can boost resilience and health.
Interesting. And water quality itself, was that tracked consistently?
Not always reported in detail across all studies, unfortunately, but the general finding was that on-plot access does tend to improve water quality compared to off-plot sources. It's another factor contributing to the overall benefit.
Okay, so pulling this all together,
Yeah.
what's the big picture message?
The overarching message is pretty clear. On-plot water access is strongly associated with better health outcomes, particularly less diarrhea, less trachoma, and it helps with some helminth infections too.
It's a powerful intervention.
Absolutely.
And the reasons, the mechanisms, it's not just cleaner water at the source.
No, it's multifaceted. It's increased quantity for hygiene, it's reduced collection time and effort, which reduces contamination risk during handling and storage.
It's the whole package.
It really is. And these findings provide strong support for global goals, right? Like the Sustainable Development Goal for safe water access, the human right to water.
This research gives concrete evidence for why those goals matter for health.
Exactly. It shows these investments pay off in real health dividends.
Now, we should also mention limitations, like any big review.
Of course. The studies included were varied heterogeneity, the quality reporting wasn't always uniform, potential for bias.
Yeah.
That's always there.
So we need to be critical consumers of the data, even while seeing the clear trends.
Right. It encourages critical thinking.
Yeah.
But the overall conclusion holds.
Which is?
While we still need maybe more rigorous studies to fully get all the nuances, there's no doubt that on-plot water access, especially when it's reliable and managed safely, it's a public health game changer.
A fundamental improvement.
One of the most significant we can make.
So the core insight for you listening today, on-plot water, it's more than just convenient, it's a major health intervention, but its success isn't automatic. It depends critically on things like continuous supply, safe storage, easy access for hygiene. All those details matter.
It transforms lives, but the implementation details are key.
Which leaves us with a final thought.
Yeah, what other seemingly simple infrastructure changes, maybe in energy or sanitation or transport, what complex cascading health impacts might they have that we only appreciate when we really truly deep dive into